Hey guys, welcome. Today we are talking about Canada vs. France, which citizenship is better. Now, as you know, I'm based in Paris, France, so I see it every day. But I don't think that it's perfect, and I will explain why. Before I talk about the French side of things, let's talk about the Canadian side of things. In terms of quality of life, Canada ranks first. They have a very high HDI, Human Development Index. It is 0.919. If you compare this to France, it's 0.896. So there's a difference. That means they score higher in terms of health, education, and income per capita. And for sure, when you live in Canada, you can see that the gap in terms of wealth is not as large between people compared to what it is in France. So if you look at the Gini coefficient, so the gap in terms of wealth, it's 32.6 in Canada, and it's 35.5 in France. Also, according to the OECD, Canada ranks second in terms of well-being. The only country that scores higher is Norway. In fact, they have the same score, but Norway has less population, so it ranks slightly higher. Now, in terms of taxes, Canada ranks 47 out of 73 countries that were surveyed, while France is number 58, which means they have higher taxes. Now, if you look at the total tax rate on a single person with no kids, if you earn $50,000 a year, you'll pay 24% of that to the government in taxes in Canada. In France, it's closer to 40%. If you have 2 kids, that number goes up to 29% in Canada and 48% in France. If you have 3 kids, it's 34% in Canada and 55% in France. And if you make over $100,000 a year, then you're paying 37% in Canada and 60% in France. So definitely France is a lot more expensive if you have a family. In terms of safety, Canada ranks first in the world, followed by Japan and then New Zealand. In terms of healthcare, Canada also ranks first. They have a universal healthcare system and the quality of their healthcare is exceptional. So the quality of healthcare in Canada is much higher than in France. However, if you want to become a doctor in Canada, you need to study 15 years. So that's a lot longer than in France, where you just need to study 12 years to become a doctor. In terms of the environment, Canada ranks 21st, which is not great considering that they have so much land and natural resources. Now, what could be better in Canada is the internet speed. They rank 64th in terms of fixed broadband internet speed. They are slower than South Korea, Japan, Norway, Denmark, and Iceland. And when it comes to mobile internet speed, they're even slower. They rank 77th. France performs better than Canada in both categories. When it comes to fixed broadband internet speed, they are ranked 39th. That's much better than Canada. And when it comes to mobile internet speed, they're ranked 42nd. So definitely France is better than Canada in terms of internet. In terms of infrastructure, Canada ranks 12th in the world and France ranks 15th. However, when it comes to public transportation, France is a lot better. They rank 14th in the world and Canada ranks 27th. Now, if you live in Paris, you can definitely tell how good the public transportation system is. You don't really need a car in Paris. You can get anywhere you want to go by metro, bus, RER train, or the little trains that connect the suburbs with the city center, which is super convenient. In addition to that, the public transportation works even at night. If you take the metro, for example, you can take it until 1 a.m. and after 1 a.m. you can take the night buses. So that's really good. Now, something that's bad in France is the waste management. They rank 46th in the world and Canada ranks 18th. Now let's talk about the economy. Canada ranks 16th in the world and France ranks 26th when it comes to GDP per capita. Canada ranks 21st in the world and France ranks 28th. The average wage in France is lower than in Canada. It's 35,000 euros versus 55,000 Canadian dollars. If we convert that into euros, it would be around 50,000 euros. So basically 15,000 euros more per year if you work in Canada compared to France. But the unemployment rate in France is lower than in Canada, 7% versus 5.5%. What's interesting, though, is that the national debt in Canada is almost 5 times higher than in France. So their economy is not as healthy as France's. Something that is probably better in Canada is the fact that they have a lot of open positions for immigrants. So the job market is better for immigrants in Canada than it is in France. Now, in terms of language, Canada ranks 24th in the world and France ranks 3rd. Now, I speak French, so I'm biased towards French, but it is an official language in so many countries. 21 countries have French as an official language. In addition to that, it is the most commonly learned language after English. Over 300 million people speak French around the world. It's the 5th most spoken language in the world after Mandarin, Spanish, English, and Hindi, so there are definitely more opportunities if you speak French compared to if you speak the Canadian version of English. That's the biggest difference between American English and British English. But I think that in Canada they speak closer to British English than they do to American English. There's more differences between American English and Canadian English than there are between French and Canadian English. So now let's talk about culture. Canada ranks 17th in the world and France ranks 10th, and in terms of quality of culture, they both rank 1st. That means that their arts and culture sector is very strong and contributes a lot to the development of the country. Another thing that's good in France is the food. They have amazing food and they love it. They care about it. They love to eat it. It's part of the culture. It's part of who they are. So yeah, the food is amazing in France. They also love wine, and in terms of wine, they are 2nd in the world. Only Italy is better. Now, something that's better in Canada is the purchasing power. They rank 15th in the world and France ranks 37th. That means that your money goes further in Canada than it does in France. In addition to that, prices in general are lower in Canada. If you look at the price level in France, it's 122.8. If you compare this to the United States, it's 100. So everything is 20% more expensive in France than in the US and Canada. It's 104. So it's 4% more expensive than in the US. That shows that prices in Canada are closer to US prices than French prices. Now, another thing that is probably better in Canada is the fact that they have a lot of open positions for immigrants. In France, it's becoming harder and harder to get a worker's permit. The requirements are getting tougher and tougher. The competition is getting tougher and tougher. So if you're planning on moving to Europe, maybe Canada is a better option than France. What's also good in Canada is that they have shorter queues for citizenship. For example, right now in France, if you apply for citizenship, you might wait 6 to 8 months. In Canada, you can get citizenship in under a year. Now, what's also great in France is the work-life balance. The French are all about living life and having fun. They value their free time. They spend a lot of time with family. They eat together. They socialize together. So there's a lot of value placed on relationships and spending time with loved ones. The French also love to take vacations, and they take a lot of vacation days. On average, they take 30 days off per year. In addition to that, they also get 11 public holidays. And on top of that, they get an extra day off for May 1st, which is Labor Day. So they get 12 days off per year as public holidays, plus the day off for May 1st, so that gives them a total of 13 days off per year in addition to their vacation days. So if you count that, they get close to 50 days off per year, which is a lot more than Canadians get. So overall, which one is better? Well, I would say that they both have their pros and cons overall. I think that Canada is better in terms of quality of life, and France is better in terms of culture and the way of life. So it depends on what you value. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.